Good evening. I Welcome to the Gerry Jo Soccer Show. Um, I'm going to have a wee chat this evening about the European games this week. So just have a wee chat about them, give some views, some points about them. Obviously, if anybody wants to come on and discuss them or discuss any other matters, um, with regarding their football club, you can do that. You can come on to my Twitter page, which is at GJ Sports Blog, and if you click on it, there's a wee link which you can be invited on, or if you're watching this in something else, by all means send me a message, and we'll find a way to get you on because it's one thing me blathering away, but if we can get a bit of chat going, a bit of communication between a few different ones, it could make for a better, more entertaining show. So anyway, I just want to start off with having a wee chat about Real Madrid and Chelsea. Um, so one thing I want to point out about this is actually the first time these two teams have met in the Champions League, as far as I could see. Um, they're obviously playing in this now. The most recent matches they've played were in the 2016 and 2013 ICC, which is that competition, International Champions Cup, where they go and travel halfway around the world and play one another. So quite intriguing that they haven't actually met in this competition, despite they've both been in it most years, over sort of the last 20 years or so, probably. They did meet now in the 90s in the UEFA Super Cup. Presumably that was after they had won Real Madrid won the 1998 Champions League. That was the one I think they beat Juventus in the final. And Chelsea, I presume, was probably the cup winners' cup back at that time. But Chelsea won in the Super Cup at that time, and won 1-0. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Then two teams that don't really know a lot about each other as such. Although obviously there are some connections between the two sides, and that there's a couple of players have played for each other. Like just looking, obviously Hazard. Although I presume he's probably injured. He's always injured, isn't he? I think he came off the bench at the weekend, so he might be ready to play. Thibaut Courtois is obviously another one. Modric played for Spurs, but he was always seemed to be linked with a move to. He always seemed to be linked with that transfer to Chelsea at a time. But yeah, I think this is quite an intriguing match. Mainly because I think at the minute Real Madrid are and should be strong favourites to win this match. But I also think that if you played this match in about a year's time, I think Chelsea might be the favourites to win it. Just because I feel like if you look at the Real Madrid team, and there's quite a few of them, I think, are obviously coming kind of towards the end of their careers. The likes of like Ramos and Modric, Cruz, Benzema, they're all the wrong side of 30, and at some stage they're going to age, and it's one of these things where you talk about teams and getting ahead of the aging process, and I think Real Madrid have a bit of work to do on that. So it'll be interesting to see. But in terms of Chelsea for me, their season's kind of changed a fair bit since Thomas Tuchel came in. He's a good coach. Give him a summer. From the start, able to train the players in the way he wants to train them and prepare them for a season. Bring in probably a couple of players that he wants to bring in. I can see a lot of improvement in Chelsea, and I think I do think that this game's a wee bit too soon for them, and I do think that they will lose. I think this is as far as they'll get in the Champions League this season. But I think things could be pretty interesting for Chelsea over the next few. Obviously, they get by Porto, which was to be expected. I did think they would have beat Porto. Atletico Madrid, now on the other hand, was a bigger sculpt for them. That was quite an impressive victory. Um, but to get the Madrid double is going to be something else. And personally, I think it might just be beyond them this season. Tomorrow night, we've got PSG and Manchester City. Another big game, another massive game. Not only have you got sort of two of the biggest clubs in Europe in terms of finances and what they can do, but you've also got like a massive rivalry there from like the sort of regions that they're from, with like Qatar and the UAE kind of not having the best of relationships, and they're both essentially run by those countries. So it's quite an intriguing from that form. You've got Man City are about to basically win the Premier League. I know they've still got a wee bit of work to do, but they're looking good for that. They've won the League Cup there at the weekend. They're out of the FA Cup. They've obviously lost it to Chelsea, one of the other semi-finalists. City's a quality team. They have a lot of quality across the pitch. Some of the players they have there, like Kevin De Bruyne, is as good as anything. Gundogan has been brilliant this season. I think there's weirdly, I think they could probably have another forward. Like Gabriel Jesus, Sergio Aguero, I think is kind of past his best, and I don't think Gabriel Jesus is the level that wins Champions Leagues. But we'll see what happens with them in the summer. Obviously, Haaland's a possibility. With regards PSG, you've got the two most expensive footballers of all time, Neymar and Mbappe, in their team. Neymar, he's been here before. He's won the competition during his time at Barcelona. Mbappe, hasn't. He's got to the Champions League final once. Been to the semi-finals whenever he was at Monaco. Quality player, I think. I think Mbappe's, what, I'm just going to check. What is he, 22 years old? I think he's fantastic. I think he's absolutely brilliant. Fantastic player to watch. I really think he's got a massive future in the game. But yeah, it's intriguing. It is intriguing to see what becomes of that. While I'm doing this here, I'm trying to desperately get somebody else to come on and talk to me about these games. But I think this one, I genuinely think this I think Real Madrid will beat Chelsea. Genuinely think that. I can see that Chelsea, this might be their coming of age night. A lot of young players in the squad. It might be their coming of age, where they get onto that scale. I think it might be another year or two. But personally, for me, Real Madrid. The other one, I genuinely PSG and Man City. I don't know. I honestly don't know who's going to win that. Two teams that to me are very balanced. City's going to probably have a lot of the ball, but whenever they lose the ball, PSG can't hurt them. They've beat the defending champions already. I've always had a wee question mark about Man City and their, just to put it bluntly, just their balls, so to speak. I would quite like to see them, they've lost to some teams that they really should be beating. They really should have done better against. So, in that regard, I think this is a big test for them. And I think that they have got something that they need to prove. They've never got to this the final, whereas PSG did get to the final. So maybe sometimes people say you need to lose one to win one, and maybe PSG's got the edge in the regard. But I think it's as close to 50-50 as you can get. Obviously, we'll see tomorrow night. Hopefully, I'll catch the game and I'm possibly working, but I don't know if I'll be home in time. I'm hoping I'll be home in time to watch the game. But yeah, it should be quality. So I'll just have a wee chat as well while we're here about the Europa League. So one thing I always find fascinating about the Europa League is the fact that there's the place in the Champions League for the winners of it. So I kind of look at it and think, right, so who can benefit the most from that? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Roma, Arsenal, and Villarreal could all kind of do with winning it. I'm just going to double check. So we'll go into Serie A first. Roma are currently sitting 7th, 11 points off Champions League spot. So yeah, definitely Roma need to win it. Arsenal, I know that Arsenal need to win it. They're even below Leeds. So yeah, I wouldn't say that Leeds are going to make it into the Champions League and they're below us. So yeah, so 46 points they have, and Chelsea have got 50. Yeah, it's almost mathematically impossible for Arsenal to make it into the Champions League via the league. And then La Liga, Villarreal are currently 7th, and they are 21 points off a Champions League spot. So yeah, those three all need to win it. Manchester United, on the other hand, they're sitting 12 points clear of 5th. So they are almost, I would say, guaranteed a Champions League spot next season anyway. So for them, it's just purely a case of wanting to win the competition, rather than there being any pressure as such. With regards needing it to qualify for the Champions League. So the ties, I don't know. I think out of the teams, I think Man United will beat Roma. Roma to me are just so inconsistent. They have been so inconsistent over the last few years. Like there was a couple of seasons. I remember, like the Rudy Garcia years. They had a few really good seasons where they went close. And then they just seem to fall away a bit. So we'll see what happens with them. But I just think that Manchester United will be too good. I'm just looking through their team. It's sort of like where the key players are, and obviously Mkhitaryan is one. He's got 9 goals and 8 assists in the league for them this year. Lorenzo Pellegrini, 5 goals and 6 assists. He's not only 24. Somebody that I've sort of watched over the last couple of years and seems to have really grown in the team. Obviously, Mkhitaryan's former Manchester United. They've also got Chris Smalling, who's former Manchester United, and Pedro, former Chelsea's there. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what Roma can do. But I just think Manchester United should probably be too good for them, and will knock them out. The other one I think is I think it's an interesting game. I really think Villarreal have got some very good individuals. There's a couple of players that play for them who are genuine quality players, very, very good talents. Just run through the team. Obviously, Gerard Moreno, former Espanyol striker. He's got 20 goals in La Liga this season. He's been in excellent form. A couple of good defenders. I really like Pau Torres, centre back, and we've got him. Danny Parejo, who was always at Valencia for a long time. Raul Albiol, who's obviously he's like 35 now, I think, but played for Real Madrid, Napoli. Another quality player. Mal Gomez on his day can turn up and do things. Paco Alcácer the same. Samuel Chukwueze. I watched Villarreal actually at the weekend against Barcelona, and they were playing with 10 men for much of that game. In the second half, a guy gets sent off for, I think it was Manny Trigueros, gets sent off for Messi. And it was a rough challenge, but even with 10 men, they actually looked more likely to to get another goal. Obviously Barcelona won. I think was it 2-1 in the end? Or was it 1-0? Remember, Barcelona won up with 1 goal. But Villarreal were pushing for much of the game, and genuinely, like, down to 10 men there, it was 2-1. Because of course they took the lead, and then Griezmann scored 2. It was 2-1 to Barcelona. But they really threatened Barcelona, and I know Barcelona is maybe not the team they are, but I would consider them very unlucky not to have got something out of that game last night. So anyway, that's mostly all I have to say. So once again, I've been left in my lonesome, and nobody's come on. Nobody wants to chat. Nobody has anything. Nobody feels that they have anything insightful to add, which is disappointing. But anyway, I don't know. We'll see. If nobody is interested in coming on, I'll just maybe scrap these wee videos and see if I can come up with something different. But anyway, anybody that watched, thanks for watching, and hopefully, feel free to share who you think will come out on top in these 4 games this week. For me, I'm going to go with Real Madrid. I'm going to go with PSG. I think PSG really impressed me against Bayern Munich, so I'm just going to edge them. And I think there's still questions. Man City still have to prove themselves for me in Europe. So I'm going with PSG. I'm going with Real Madrid. I think Man United will beat Roma, and I think Villarreal will beat Arsenal. So anyway, that's my 4 predictions. Feel free to fire yours into wherever you're watching it, be it Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. But that's all for now. So catch you again later. Thanks.